Ever clicked a link and gotten one of those website error messages?
Yeah.
The ones that look like total gibberish? It's like the web is speaking in some secret language.
Yeah.
Which it kind of is, right?
It is, yeah.
So today, that's what we're talking about. We're cracking the code. We're diving deep into how websites actually work with a little help from, well, Wikipedia.
Of course.
We've got articles on HTML, HTTP, even a peek into the history of the World Wide Web itself.
The OG.
Exactly. So buckle up, folks. We're about to make sense of what makes the web go round.
Let's do it.
All right, so websites, they're everywhere, right? But have you ever stopped to think about how they actually, work? I mean, all those collections of text, images, videos, they don't just magically appear on our screens, do they?
It does seem like magic sometimes, but you're right. There's a lot happening behind the scenes.
There really is.
Yeah, and it all starts with a language called HTML hypertext markup language, and that's how we build the structure and content of a web page.
Like the building blocks of a web.
Exactly. Imagine HTML is the framework of a house. You know, it defines the different parts, the walls, the roof, the doors. But in the case of a web page, we're talking about headings, paragraphs, images, all that good stuff.
Okay, so HTML provides that basic structure. But what about making it look nice? That's where those HTML tags come in, right?
Right.
I was looking at this Wikipedia entry on HTML, and it seems like they're kind of like commands that tell the browser how to display things.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. Tags are like instructions for the browser. And the cool thing is each tag has a specific purpose. So you have tags for headings, tags for paragraphs, tags for images, even tags for creating those little tooltips that pop up when you hover over certain words.
Tooltips. You mean like when you hover your mouse over a word and a little box appears with more information?
Exactly.
I always wondered how they do that.
It's actually a lot simpler than you might think.
Okay.
There's a specific HTML tag. It's called abrib that you use for abbreviations.
Okay.
And within that tag, you can add an attribute. Think of it like an extra instruction. That tells the browser to show a tooltip with the full definition. It's a bit like adding a footnote to a word, but for the web.
So it's all about these tags and attributes working together to create the web page we see.
Exactly, yeah. The tags provide the structure, and then the attributes add those specific details and functionalities.
This is already making more sense, but I bet there's a lot that can go wrong, right? I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
with all that code.
Yeah, you know how computers can be. One tiny error can throw everything off. Like in the early days of the web, one common mistake was forgetting to include something called a doctype declaration at the top of an HTML file.
Doctype declaration. Sounds intimidating.
It's not as complicated as it sounds, I promise.
Okay.
Imagine, a browser trying to read a web page like it's a choose-your-own-adventure book,
Okay.
but without knowing which set of rules to follow. That's basically what the doctype declaration does. It tells the browser which version of HTML to use, so it knows how to interpret all those tags and attributes correctly.
So it's like setting the ground rules before the game starts. No wonder forgetting it caused problems.
Exactly. And it could send browsers into what developers jokingly called quirks mode, where web pages would sometimes look completely different than intended.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine, spending hours designing this beautiful website
Yeah.
only to have it look like a jumbled mess because of a missing doctype declaration?
I can only imagine the frustration. Thankfully, it sounds like those quirks have been ironed out over time.
For the most part, yeah.
So we've got our web page built with HTML, all the tags are in the right place, and the doctype declaration is doing its job.
Yep.
How does it actually get delivered to my computer when I type in a web address?
That, my friend, is where HTTP comes in. Hypertext Transfer Protocol.
There's another acronym.
Another one, right? So if HTML is the language of the web, HTTP is the delivery service.
Okay, so walk me through it. I type in a URL, then what?
So your browser, it sends an HTTP request to the server that hosts the website you're trying to reach.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like sending a letter asking for specific information.
So the server is like a giant library, and I'm sending a request for a specific book.
You got it.
Okay.
And just like a library, the server, hopefully it finds the book, the website files, and sends them back to your browser as an HTTP response. That response contains all the HTML, images, and other stuff that makes up the web page, which your browser then magically transforms into what you see on your screen.
Wow, it really is like magic, isn't it? But like a very organized kind of magic.
It is,
Right.
absolutely. And with HTTP 1.1, things got even faster thanks to something called persistent connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of opening a new connection for every single file on a web page, your browser can use a single connection to request multiple files.
Wait, so before persistent connections, it was like having to redial a phone number for every word you wanted to say.
You got it. It was painfully slow. But with persistent connections, it's more like having a single phone call where you can just have a whole conversation.
Okay,
Much more efficient.
that makes a lot more sense. But I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. We've got our HTML, our HTTP, but there's got to be more to this web thing, right? I mean, I've always wondered about this thing called the deep web. Welcome back to our deep dive into how websites work.
We're really getting into it.
Before the break, we were talking about HTML, the building blocks of the web,
Really the foundation.
and HTTP, the delivery service that brings those blocks to our browsers.
Like digital mail carriers.
Exactly. But just like a house needs more than just walls and a roof, the web has evolved far beyond its basic structure.
Oh, for sure. The web we know today is a dynamic, interactive experience,
Right.
a far cry from those static pages of the early internet.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah,
Just scrolling through endless lines of text.
the good old days, some might say.
Yeah, maybe for some. But that evolution didn't happen overnight, did it? I'm guessing there were some growing pains along the way.
Oh, absolutely. As the web grew in popularity, it also became more complex. Different browsers started interpreting HTML and CSS in their own ways, leading to inconsistencies in how websites looked and functioned.
So it was like everyone was speaking the same language, but with slightly different accents and dialects, which could definitely lead to some misunderstandings.
A perfect analogy. And that's actually where the World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, came in.
The W3C sounds official. What do they do?
Well, they basically became the guardians of web standards.
Okay.
They established guidelines for HTML, CSS, and other web technologies to ensure that websites would display consistently across different browsers and platforms.
So they were like the rule makers, making sure everyone was on the same page, literally.
Precisely. And their work was crucial in bringing order to the chaos and making the web a more reliable and accessible platform for everyone.
That was like a good thing.
But while standards were being hammered out, another revolution was brewing the rise of dynamic websites.
From digital brochures to interactive experiences. How did that happen?
Well, it was a perfect storm of technological advancement. JavaScript, that scripting language that could add interactivity to web pages, really started gaining traction.
Yeah.
And then there was AJX, which was a technique that allowed web pages to update content without requiring a full page reload.
AJX, that rings a bell.
Mm.
That's what makes websites feel so snappy and responsive these days, right?
Exactly. Think about online shopping. Before AJX, every time you added an item to your cart, the entire page would refresh.
Oh, it's true.
With AJX, you get that instant feedback, making the whole experience much smoother.
It's amazing how those little things can make such a big difference. But this newfound dynamism wasn't just about user experience, was it? It also opened up a whole new world of possibilities for businesses.
Absolutely. The commercialization of the internet was a game changer. Suddenly, anyone could set up shop online and reach a global audience.
Cue the dot-com boom and bust.
Right. It felt like every other day there was a new online bookstore or pet food delivery service popping up.
It really did.
It was a wild time, full of innovation and, let's be honest, some questionable business models.
Definitely.
But through it all, the web kept evolving, adapting to the changing landscape.
And out of the ashes of the dot-com bubble rose a new era, Web 2.0.
Ah, Web 2.0, the age of user-generated content, social media, and the rise of the participatory web.
So from reading static websites to actively creating and sharing content, it was the birth of blogs, social networks, and online communities, wasn't it?
Precisely. Platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter exploded onto the scene, connecting people across the globe and giving everyone a voice.
It's amazing to think how quickly those platforms went from niche communities to global phenomena.
It's true, it happened so fast.
And with all that connectivity came a whole new set of challenges, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Security threats, privacy concerns, misinformation. These are all issues that have become increasingly pressing in the age of Web 2.0.
It's like we're constantly playing catch-up,
Yeah.
trying to address the unintended consequences of this incredible tool we've created.
That's a good way to put it.
But let's not end on a down note.
Please, no.
For all its flaws, the web has also been a force for good, connecting people across continents, giving voices to the voiceless, and democratizing access to information in ways we never thought possible.
Absolutely. It's a powerful tool with the potential to empower individuals and communities.
And that potential continues to grow as we explore new frontiers.
Oh.
We've touched on the hidden depths of the web, but what about the uncharted territory that lies ahead? We'll be back after the break to delve into the exciting and sometimes daunting possibilities of Web 3.0. Don't go anywhere.
You know, it's funny. We use the web every day, taking for granted that it just, works.
Right.
But after taking this deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm kind of amazed anything on the internet works at all, honestly.
I know what you mean. It really highlights how much complexity is hidden behind those, seemingly simple clicks.
It's like that old saying, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. We've got HTML structuring the content, HTTP delivering it, browsers interpreting it all. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
And we haven't even touched on things like DNS, servers, databases.
Right.
The rabbit hole goes deep. Let's save those for another deep dive, shall we? We've still got Web 3.0 to explore.
The future is now.
Before the break, we were talking about the evolution of the web, from static pages to the interactive, user-driven landscape of Web 2.0.
Yeah, right.
But what comes next? What does the future hold for this ever-evolving digital frontier?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
Web 3.0 is still very much in its infancy, and there are a lot of different ideas floating around about what it will look like.
So no flying cars or self-aware toasters just yet.
Not quite, not quite. But one of the key concepts behind Web 3.0 is decentralization.
Okay.
Instead of data being controlled by a handful of tech giants, it could be distributed across a network of computers, giving users more control over their information.
So like a more democratic web where the power is shifted back to the people.
Yep.
I like the sound of that.
It's a compelling vision, for sure.
Yeah.
Imagine a web where you own your data, where you decide how it's used and who benefits from it.
Right.
That's the promise of Web 3.0.
It sounds like a huge shift.
Yeah.
How would that even work in practice?
Well, that's where things get a little more technical. We're
Yeah.
talking about technologies like blockchain, peer-to-peer networks,
Okay.
and semantic web technologies that, allow machines to understand and process information like humans do.
Wow. So a web that's not only more distributed, but also more intelligent?
Yeah.
That's both exciting and a little bit intimidating.
It's definitely a brave new world with both opportunities and challenges, but if
Right.
we can get it right, Web 3.0 has the potential to create a more equitable, secure, and empowering online experience for everyone.
That's a future I can get behind. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has.
We've gone from the humble beginnings of HTML to the dizzying possibilities of Web 3.0.
Yeah, from those blinking text pages to who knows what's next.
Who knows what the future holds?
Exactly.
That's what makes it so fascinating, right? This ever-changing digital landscape that reflects our hopes, our dreams, even our fears.
It's a reflection of us, in a way.
It is. It's a powerful tool with the potential to shape our world, for better or worse.
For sure. And as we've seen, it's up to us, the users, to kind of shape its destiny. By understanding how the web works, by engaging in these thoughtful discussions about its future, we can help steer it in the right direction.
Well said. So, dear listener, next time you're browsing the web, take a moment to appreciate the intricate machinery that makes it all possible.
Yeah, take a peek behind the curtain.
And remember, you're not just a passive consumer. You're an active participant in this ever-evolving digital world.
That's right, you have a voice.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive into the web. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.